The used car industry is on fire right now. Industry watchers at iccars.com say the price of used cars has gone up for the past 5 months in a row, thanks to concern about supply and the higher price of new cars. I'm senior reporter Roland Barris with a reminder that there is no lemon law for used cars in the state of Idaho. And that can cost you a big chunk out of your pocketbook if you're not careful. Maria Juarez is finally able to drive her beloved 2017 Range Rover. How stoked are you?
Really, really happy to finally get this car after a year.
Unfortunately, it took more than a year to get it in working order.
It's been, rough because I have to pay the car payment and then I don't have a car, and then I did borrow cars from family members.
Maria bought the Rover for $28,000 from Alec Motors on Fairview in July of last year. 9 days later,
It started jerking and it completely turned off.
her story is outlined in a new lawsuit against Alec Motors. Mustafa Alec and Rob Alec, company managers, are listed as defendants. It states that the car was, quote, defective, and Alec Motors made, quote, temporary repairs which allowed for the short-term functioning of the vehicle.
The amount of block sealant that they put in here was just layered and caked in here. The failure was so catastrophic it needed the bottom end of the engine as well as the top half of the engine as well.
That's Levon Arnold, owner of Long Arm Mechanics, which works with the Better Business Bureau's Restoring Trust program. The program is designed to help customers who are the victims of fraud. Arnold took over the repairs on Maria's Rover and began negotiating with Alec Motors to pay the bill. He's the one suing Alec Motors for breach of contract, claiming nearly $14,000 for the cost of replacing Maria's engine.
You can see the difference with how shiny the carbon buildup here is. It's all been removed.
The lawsuit claims that on April 9th of this year, Rob Alec promised to pay nearly $14,000 for the repairs, and Arnold showed us several emails to back it up. How much back and forth did you have with the dealer to try and get them to pay for this stuff?
Oh, constant. We have full records on every time we contacted them and gained approval.
The Better Business Bureau says they grade both accredited and non-accredited businesses on, among other things, how responsive they are to customer complaints.
Alec Motors has an F rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Now, I called Alec Motors repeatedly last week to ask for comment.
Hi, Roland.
Hey, good morning. Is Mustafa or Rob around?
No, they're on a plane right now heading this way. Hopefully they'll be here this afternoon.
And finally, a day before the story was to air, an associate told me that Mustafa wouldn't talk on camera, but he did give me this facsimile of a check that he says he used to pay Long Arm for the repairs that were made, and it was sent on August 28th. I asked Arnold if he received that money, and he said he did, but that since the case is already in court, that Alec Motors is still on the hook for things like attorney fees, interest, and storage fees. As this lawsuit makes its way through the courts, experts say for anyone looking to buy right now, it's important to remember that Idaho does not have a lemon law for used cars. So you should do your homework before signing on the dotted line.
Take your time and find a really good mechanic like Levon, and to find some good sources of information and make an informed decision about where you buy is an important lesson for all of us.
Pre-purchase inspection, that's the number one thing with increased used car sales, is get them checked out.
Unfortunately, that's something Maria didn't do.
We were happy to buy something that we thought was going to be reliable, but, definitely a lesson learned.
So again, the key to avoiding all this problem is to make sure that you take any car that you're interested in to an independent mechanic to have it inspected. And every legitimate car salesman will be okay with that. The Better Business Bureau says if they're not okay with you taking it off the lot to have it inspected, walk away. Also, it's always good to get a Carfax report to make sure any vehicle you want has not been in an accident. In Boise, I'm senior reporter Roland Barris, Idaho News 6.